Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Let Me Be Serious podcast, where we're always going to have a great time and still have a serious moment or two. This podcast is for the multi-hyphenates, the faith-filled, and the dreamers, the creatives, the entrepreneurs, and the builders. If you are multi-passionate and or in a season of transition, this podcast is for you. My name is Egypt Cullum, and I am the host of this podcast. Hi, how are you doing? It's nice to see you. Yes, I got my voice back, you guys. I'm so happy. I'm still kind of scratchy, so it might some point I might cough. But other than that, your girl got a brand new voice. Got to rebuild my voice. I'm so grateful. So I've been gone. Yes, I have been under the weather in so many ways since I've been away. To be honest, I've had sinus drainage. I lost my voice. I went through a minor romantic heartbreak, and I was just energetically sick. Honestly, there was a lot going on. I was working really hard to get back to my normal. And honestly, I was struggling in more ways than I even cared to admit. God was and still is working on me in some ways. And I don't mind sharing some of them with you. One of them is time management and distribution. So basically, who and what I was giving my time and attention to. Energy management and distribution, who and what I was giving my energy to and allowing to influence me. My discipline, just sticking to what I said I was going to do and not letting outside forces and people influence me doing those things, right? And then different blocks, both emotional and physical. I've been holding on to things that I didn't realize were there. Um, and I didn't realize how those things were affecting me. So it's been interesting. I'll say that. Therapy was great though. Therapy last week was amazing. I will say that. But anyway, with the next segment, which I usually give 3 to 4 things where that God's taught me this week, right? Um, yeah, this is way more than 3 or 4 since I've been gone, because I just need to share. So it's definitely gonna be more than 3 to 4, but we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So first thing is allowing myself to pivot when it's needed and when it's instructed, because those are different things. Mm, yep, those are different things, and that has definitely been a struggle for me during this time period. It's just not necessarily even just being obedient, but just allowing myself to pivot and saying, okay, I have to do things differently now. Not that things were wrong, but it's time for things to change. And so doing that when I see it is needed and when God tells me it's needed. That one was tough. Next is don't share too much of yourself with the wrong people. Also a tough one. All these are gonna be tough. Okay, I'm just gonna say they're gonna hit me deep. I don't know about you, but don't share too much time with the wrong people. Not that those people are bad, but they're just not the correct people to be sharing all of yourself with. Next thing, your internal battles are the toughest and most important to face, because you know the whole thing, inside influences the outside. Really, it's the inside affects your outside and your environment because of your lens. So when you're going through so much internal turmoil and such like that, it starts affecting your lens and how you see things. Things are going to happen regardless, but it's how you choose to move and navigate through them. That's where the tough part comes into play, right? Next thing, people are attracted to my light for many reasons. hmm Not all good, not all bad, and not all with intention. hmm Some people are just drawn to me. I'm very much giving Bugs Life light bulb, right? Like that's literally what I be feeling like sometimes. And it's been a struggle to get to a place where I'm better understanding how my light is influencing people. But we're gonna get into that, right? People are attracted to, oh, never mind. When you finally decide to stop allowing things to make you look backward, you can effectively take intentional steps forward. So I'm gonna repeat that one because that one's a lot. When you finally decide to stop allowing things to make you look backward, you can effectively take intentional steps forward. So, for example, if someone from your past, right, they're not necessarily in your past, but they're just reminding you of something from the past, makes you keep looking back at what you have already gone through and you have gotten through. You can't have sure footing moving forward because you're not paying attention to what is in front of you or where you're even placing your feet. And if you even want to place your feet there, you can't do both. You can't look backward and walk forward safely and effectively with intention, right? You can do it. You probably gonna walk to the wall. That's not my business, right? Anyway, next thing, is God's will is different than my will and is better than my will. Say that again. God's will is different than my will and is better than my will. And that's not even just about God's plan. Like, it's about character development. Like, God's plan can involve character development for you, right? God God's will is different than my will and is better than my will. It's not just about God's plan because God's plan can involve character development, right? But it's God's will if He wants you to sit in it longer than you expected you would have to, right? Like there's things like that. God's will is more like God's plan, correction, is more like an outline, right? And if He tells you, it's like you're stepping through these things. God's will is more like, okay, we're gonna spend 6 months in this funk character development, right? So it's just like, okay, one, not rushing through the process. Cool, cool. And that leads into my next point, really, is with God's will is coming this word. And I've been struggling with this word, but I'm not even going to explain it. It's just the word is wait. God said, wait. I don't feel like explaining it because it's going to irritate me, but it's okay, right? But He said, wait. Next thing, it's fine that people miss me. That one kind of still sits weird with me, but it's fine that people miss me. I have to detach this from my own feelings. Like when I miss people, this is what I'm feeling and why I'm feeling it. I don't know why people are always missing me sometimes. And understanding, I have to also understand and accept why there's this distance. So understanding and accepting why there is distance is very important when understanding that people need to miss me. Okay. It's like is I have to detach from my feelings about it. Sometimes people need to miss me. Sometimes people need to miss you. That's okay. Next thing, protect your diet. Like protect yourself from the things you intake. Like you have to be very specific, regardless if it's food, energy, content, sound, sights. Be more specific about what you intake because what you intake affects what and who you become, right? We are what we eat, cool. But there's so much more that gets involved with that. So you have to be very careful about what you choose to intake. Next thing, I told you I have a lot of things. Oh my gosh. Now these things are a little bit longer. So this okay. Okay, so stick with me, right? This next thing. Things outside of God and what He told me to do are secondary and tertiary priorities. You don't know what tertiary means, tertiary. Sound it out. Go Google it. Okay. Third. All right. Like second and third priorities. If you don't like your position when I'm in that process, don't. I can't care. Like I don't care. That's fine. That's fine if you don't like your position, but don't put yourself in a situation where God's going to remove you from me because He's telling me I'm doing what He told me to do. He's telling me what to do. I'm in a process right now, and you're one to become a higher priority than Him. Don't put yourself in that position, right? You find and you find things about people that you love and like that's beautiful. You like and love me because I'm driven and motivated. That's great. I love it. You don't have enough power nor position to take me out of my process though, and I won't give it to you. So as much as people think that, and this is a situation that just happened, so that's why I'm saying it like this. As much as people think that they are affecting me in a certain way because, oh, I am pausing to play and smell the roses, and it looks like I'm paying too much attention to them. See, this is the thing about me, right? I have ADHD. I pay attention to a lot of things. That has nothing to do with what I plan to do. It has nothing to do with what I am doing. Sure, cool. So just because I stop and pause to play with you doesn't mean I'm going to stop, right? Because the pause does not mean stop. People don't know that about me, which is fine. That's fine. That's fine. And that's why everyone has to have their position. But this is also the thing, right? I've been building for a long time, and I'm going to be building for a long while to go. So if you're not helping me and you're a distraction, you have to move. If you're not helping me and you're a distraction, you have to move. Regardless if I choose to move you, God will remove you. You gonna feel like you need to remove yourself. I ain't even gonna always say it. But see, it's the thing. I will pause and play because the roses need to be smelled. I work all the time. So know that. So if I choose to pause and make you first priority while I'm pausing, there's a difference. Because nonetheless, I'm still gonna go back to work. I'm still gonna go back to doing what God told me to do. Because I still have a timeline, right? It's not mine, it's God's timeline, but I still got stuff to do. So that's the thing. Next thing, safe and comfortable are not the same thing. I'm learning, and I learned that the hard way during this process. One, it gets used to being safe and comfortable, but there's a reason you say and with those two. They're not the same. One is used as something that can calm and soothe one's nervous system, right? The other is something that keeps you complacent. I'm still learning the difference because God is making my comfortable places uncomfortable for me. And I think I probably said that before, but it keeps happening, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, what is this? And it's like, oh, okay, I'm reminded, and this is just something that came into clearer view for me recently because I'll think I feel safe with people or places and things, but really it's just they make me feel comfortable. Not the same thing, right? And so this is also part of like him telling me, don't sit down. Don't sit down too long. Chill out. Like, I'm glad you're resting, but don't sit down too long because we got places to be. If the people around you are not willing to get up and move at the pace that I'm willing to take you, you might be able to, you might be able to take them, but you really need to let them go. If they're not willing to get up and move at this pace, let them go. Even if they are willing to get up and move at the pace I'm taking you, they might be able to come. You might need to leave them. And so that's been putting me back into this particular word of detachment and attachment and like what that really looks like for me, because I know that's something I am working through with my own life trauma and things. Like, yeah. So that just brings me back to that word. Like, it's just been popping up so much. I'm like, I need to work on that. Yes. Next thing, right? Seasons of release are not fun. Seasons of release are not fun. I'm in one. It's not fun. But I am learning that it's also freeing my hands and my heart to receive. So I'm gonna say all that together. Seasons of release are not fun, but I'm learning that it's also freeing my hands and my heart to receive. I feel very open to things right now. And I didn't expect it because I did ask God to not harden my heart through certain processes that I've been going through. And I'll say that I'm grateful for this season, even though it's not fun. Like, it's not fun, but it's hurt. It hurts and it's painful. Like, it's a lot of things going on. But I'm very grateful for it because I didn't realize how much I was carrying, and especially carrying that didn't belong to me, things I was carrying that were not assigned to me, things I was carrying that were not my responsibility. Like, and so now I've been just so open, and it's just like, wow, it's honestly been a great transition. Just a painful season, but great transition. Now, this is my last thing for this particular list, okay? Stop forcing it. That's me. That's me talking to me. That's God talking to me. Stop forcing it. We all heard this like saying like flow like water thing, that whole thing, right? Truly, that's real. Like, whenever I'm in flow, I feel the best, I do the best, I am the best. That's me, right? When I'm trying to force something, it's literally the equivalent of me banging my head against the wall. It's not doing anything but hurting me, honestly. So choosing for me to choose to flow like water, if we think of water beyond just like water in a cup, beyond just, oh, this is a pond or a lake or a river, whatever. If we really think about water and the strength water has, if we think about the oceans, right? If we think about currents and waves, the strength of a current will make things move on its own. That's flow. That's what flow is. We think of that as force. It's only force if you're the thing blocking it. If you're the thing blocking it, you're creating the force by just not moving with it, really. You're fighting against it. But when you're in flow, you flow. So instead of forcing and moving against the current, and when I'm saying current, I'm not referencing things that you may not want to go along with in your life. But if God's taking you somewhere, be in flow. Because whatever obstacle or thing or people that are in the way, they will move. The current is strong, baby. So just flow. Truly, just flow. So for today's topic, right? The main topic of today. Oh my gosh, we finally made it. Yes. So the main topic of the day is people are attracted to my light for many reasons. Not all good, not all bad, and not all with intention. Okay. Also, just so I can give y'all a preface, this episode will be a two-parter. Fun fact. So we will get to what the next topic for next week's episode is going to be, but this will be definitely a two-parter. Okay. So today's topic, I've learned I need to do better with understanding what people are coming to me for, right? Rarely do people that are attracted to light want to bring more light. Like it does it sounds terrible, but rarely are people that are coming to the light wanting to amplify it and make it brighter. For example, most boats don't come to a lighthouse trying to give it more light and brilliance. They need something. They're looking for help. They're looking for resources. They're wanting something. And I have been and am currently battling discerning between people within my tribe, right? Trying to figure out who these people are and what they're meant to be doing here and what they're supposed to be doing, because that's been an issue with me. It's just understanding why people have come to me. So I've categorized, people into three groups right now, right? So I have my family, and then I have my students, and then I have my elders, right? So let me break those down. Family, those are like my peers and my chosen family and friends. They're here seeking community and connection. Like, yes, do this together. Then I have my students. These are people that are looking to learn from me, people looking to watch me and copy me. These are people just observing me. Now, I will say I add the observing people because one, they annoy me, but it's fine. You got to have someone to watch. Cool. But this is the thing. You going back to the intaking, you have to be careful what you intake thing. The more people watch you, the more people start applying and implementing the things that they're watching you do into what they're doing. So really, they're just the people that watch and copy, but they don't really know that. Like some people are intentionally doing that. Some people just focused on you. So they're a part of my students. Okay. Now the last group are the elders. These are the people that feed into me, the people that teach me, the people that are ready to guide me and ready to make a lane for me. These, once again, ready to feed into me, ready to teach me, ready to guide me, ready to make a lane for me. Now, some people in these groups can fit multiple roles, but usually take on one main role. Like there's this one main thing that you came to me for and that you're here for, right? Sometimes my students might dip into family, but really they're still my students. Sometimes my family might dip into the elders, but they still mainly family. Like, so it's come to my attention that each of these groups need and want something different from me, and I'm learning to ask God what each person is needing from me, because a lesson that I've learned in my last week's chapter of my Bible study book. And if you're curious about that, go check out my personal page, my personal Instagram page, and go to my highlight for what's it called? Book club. There we go. And it's the last post in my book club, or it's one of them. It's one of the last ones. But anyway, so the one I'm currently reading, it taught me that God's wisdom is what I need to have clarity in 2026. Man, that's what I need. This is a point that got pulled out to me. Discernment plus God's wisdom equals clarity. Okay? Discernment plus God's wisdom equals clarity. And as I think I said this in a previous episode of this podcast, actually, is 2026 is my year of discernment and clarity. I need to know what's going on and what to do. What to do with what's going on. Like that's where I'm at. And so I'm very grateful that God revealed all this to me, and all the synchronicities and things are lining up. It's so beautiful. So this is my explanation of that formula for you guys. So this is an example. Discernment says, don't keep hanging out with them. Is that where the process should stop? Like that before last year, honestly, that's where the process would stop. I would just do stuff. I wouldn't understand. I wouldn't know why. It's just, okay, cool. This is what I'm doing. And certain things, like that's where it needs to end. I get it. But God's wisdom is me asking, emphasize asking, why did I have to stop hanging out with them? Like, why did you have me stop hanging out with them, God? The clarity comes is when he explains they are parasites ready to feed off you, and they were just wanting to attach to you, and you were going to end up feeling drained and sick. Right? Now, so this is where I'm getting better. And I'm not saying like I'm the best, but I'm getting better with with not saying this particular thing. Like this is my area of weakness, but I'm growing, right? I'm getting better with saying I'm gonna go see anyways. I'm gonna go try anyways. I'm gonna really see. I want to see that this is what you say it is. If y'all know that girl on her name's Ariel. She's on Instagram. Her name's Ariel. I forgot her handle, but she does like the skits with God, her talking to God and stuff in the angel. Oh my gosh, she's so funny. But truly, that's really what it be like. It's like, I'm gonna go see. I am getting so much better with it. I'm not perfect. But I truly can say I'm definitely tired of that process. So I'm just gonna, now that I have that clarity portion where I just need to ask, I can just be like, okay, and move forward in my discernment. So for sure. Now, that for me is saying trust God and follow God's instructions the first time he tells you, right? That's the moral of that story. Trust God and follow his instructions the first time he tells you. Also, remembering that things don't have to make sense to me. Like that's a big point for me that I have to remind myself. It's not that, how do I say this? That's not the point of instructions for real. Like clarity is not the point of instructions. We don't give instructions to provide people with clarity. Those are explanations, right? The point of instructions are for people to follow them to get to the correct end result and destination. So when the GPS is telling you where to go, that is not the time to say, why am I going this way? And if it is the time to say, why am I going this way? Ask a very intentional question saying, why this particular road? Now, if you already know the roads and you know there's a different way to get there, sure, okay, cool. But there might be a reason that God took you that way. Whether he explains it to you or not, he still might need you to go the way he told you to go. There might be a roadblock. There might be a traffic jam. There might be an accident. There might be a reason, right? When you're cooking, you don't ask why you're adding 3 scoops of flour, right? That's really baking. When you're baking, right? So it's just like, especially if you're not like a chemist or like person who studies that, like you just need to follow the instructions. Do you want the cake or not? Do you want the stir fry or not? Add them noodles, right? So it's also discerning where people are in my tribe, right? That helps me better understand how close they're supposed to stand to me and where they're supposed to be positioned in my life, right? So God is still explaining that to me. I don't have the recipe for y'all yet, but I will say that I know that I need more elders. I need more elders for sure. Right now, I have plenty of people who want to be my students, that want to be my family, and I feel like I don't have capacity for them, even though I know I do, but I don't have elders that are ready to feed into me yet or actively doing it. Like I don't got that yet. And if I got that, nope, I ain't got that. I ain't even tripping. Like every time I think through that process and think through my people, no, no. And it's not that I'm not trying to tap in. Yeah. So that's just an area I know like I'm working through still. And I know I'm getting there and I'm putting myself in rooms and places to find them. But I know I haven't truly found them. And I'm also learning that you gotta pay many of them. You gotta pay them. And I'm working on that too. I'm working on that too. But at the end of the day, I'm trying, and I'm tired, guys. I'm just like everyone else, guys. Like uh y'all and so many people see me doing so much. FYI, just side note. I'm about to start getting into music, so that's about to be a thing. So just keep an eye out. Anyway, but I'm doing so much, and people are telling me that I'm amazing and I'm great and I'm fabulous. And I love that because, yes, I am those things because God is allowing me to be those things. But I'm tired. I'm tired, guys. I'm not tired from what I'm doing, but I'm tired from the people, from, how do I say that? I'm tired from the things people do not tell me about, like the things that people don't tell you about, like about growing in the public eye on purpose. Like there's a whole thing. I feel like there's a whole, ooh, a mental gap, a mindset gap that people don't talk about when you're growing in the public eye. I'm about to add this to my mentorship program too, so keep an eye out for that. But people want so much from me. People will want so much from you all the time, and sometimes I just want to give myself everything because no one else is. And I feel like I hear famous people talk about that. I think that's also the gap. We hear famous people talk about that. I am not there yet. Maybe. Don't know. I don't know. I don't necessarily feel like I'm like a celebrity at this point in time. But it's truly a thing. Even with growing in the public eye, it's like people just want you to feed them. And it's just like I don't have stuff for myself. So I have to stop my flow to you so that way I can give to myself. And for me, I'm learning to release that stress and have grace with myself because I know I don't have someone to feed into me in that way. But also no one in my life truly understands that I just need rest. Nor the type of rest I actually need, right? Like that's also a thing. One, I need rest, and two, I need a certain type of rest. Um, I literally had a whole week off from work during the snow, and I rested. I did, and I'm very proud of myself. I didn't realize I rested until I got to the end, like, because I equate resting with not doing something, which I'm not good at. I'm used to doing. I'm used to doing things, but I realized I did rest, and I've been saying I don't know how to do that, but really I think it's just I need to be able to sit in solitude with God and let Him refill me. That's my true core of rest, truly. I need time to say nope, nah, and no thank you. I don't want to build a life where I can't sit still. So why should I get used to that? Why would I want to get used to that? You know? Um So I'm doing my best to build things, businesses, projects, companies that allow me to still be able to sit down, because that's my goal. I want to be able to go, 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 and I want to be able to sit still without concern. I want both of those things. And guess what? Who you're talking? You know who you're talking to. I'm the person that will do everything I want to do. Yes, and so that's what I'm building, and that means I need people around me that will allow me to be and do both equally. You know, I need people that are able to say, no, Egypt needs to be on go mode for a while. And I need those people to also be able to say, no, Egypt needs to sit still for a while, with and or without me. That part is very, very true. With and or without me. I also need people that know that I can't and don't need to come with, like, they don't need to come with me. Let me say that again, because I started stuttering. Because I'm getting stopped up as I'm talking. Lord, it's dry in here. That's why. All right. I also need people to know that they can't or don't need to come with me for everything. Most things, honestly. Sometimes my journey requires me to be in solitude, and that's okay. It's uncomfortable for me. Yeah, it is. But that's okay too. That's my thing to deal with. That's not something y'all gotta deal with, right? We all have our thing to deal with. So sometimes, usually, it's not about you. Right? That's what I need people to understand. It's not about you. I've spent so much of my past people pleasing and prioritizing others. It's time, really, it's been past time, but it's time for me to prioritize myself in my own journey. Not that I can't be a part of your world, it's just your world is not my world. That part. And so that also brings me into the point of allowing myself to pivot when it's needed and instructed. But we're going to get into that in the next episode, actually. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. But we are going to finish out this episode. So give me a second. All right, it's time for question from the besties. A question from the besties. A question from the besties. Okay, so today's question is from Randy. Hi, bestie Randy. How are you, girl? So today's question is, what comforts you on bad days? What comforts me on bad days? So this is the answer. There's two answers, but this is the real answer, right? Journaling, praying, and seeking God's understanding. That's one process for me. Recently, and this is something I'm going to continue, right? I journal, pray, and like just listen to God every morning and every night. Now, secondary answer is candy. All right, but we're going to go back to the first one. Sometimes, all the time, really, God has to explain things to me. I, I do not exist in a peaceful state when I am confused and upset. I just don't. I don't. So God God will tell me the answer or how to solve the situation or how to resolve the situation correctly, who to talk to about the situation, when to act on the situation, how to act on the situation, and what to say in the situation. So, yes, this is a conference call. In Kevin Hart's voice, help me. Like, please help. Like, so, for examples, some examples, because I say these on a very normal basis. They're getting on my nerves. Jesus, please help me navigate how to respond to them. Now, it used to just be that first part, but now I had to learn to start asking for the help on the end, right? Or this situation is upsetting me, God. Could you please explain why? This is a question I ask myself when I feel things and sensations in my body that I don't understand, but I'm learning my triggers. So I just need God to explain to me what they're connected to, so that way we can resolve them, and so I know how to better respond, right? This next one goes back to the trigger. God, I'm feeling triggered by this conversation. Should I not be having it? Later, after that point, I'll ask him why I shouldn't have been having that conversation. Because sometimes people will pull you into conversations that you're energetically not connected to, or that will energetically mess you up. And I'm doing better with listening, but I'm also doing and following, listening and following those instructions, because that's what we're working on, right? But later, like, I will ask him why, so that way he can explain it to me, so I can gain that clarity that I was referring to. Now, back to the candy comment. Candy just helps me rebalance and regulate my dopamine levels. So it's kind of a quick fix until I can like actually pray. So that's what that one is. So it's not an all the time thing. Definitely not. Now, when I first was going through my breakup a few months ago, for sure, that was needed candy on deck because there was a lot going on. I was praying and just like, I need to go get some gummies. Like, crazy. All right, guys. So there is no game this week because I know this week's episode was long, and I'm not trying to. I'm not. I just. Don't, I'm not in the mood to talk that long, y'all. Like, I just got my voice back. Gosh, calm down. Anyway, I'm playing. So I will say this. I really haven't sat down to really explain the Nook to you guys because, of course, I have not had a voice, but go join the Nook. I'm really nervous about it, which means I probably need to push it. But it's a community I'm building that's a sorry, I had an alarm go off. It's a community I'm building that's for creative entrepreneurs that are looking for community and support. It's just for us to have creative and business minded conversations. And we we can bounce ideas off each other, we can share highs and lows, we can network and find people that we want to actually work with, especially if you're not surrounded by or in an area with a lot of creators or creatives that you actually want to work with, because both can be true. I've been there. Currently it's just me, but I'm very okay with starting small because I know that there is a need for this in our community, and I want us all to have an opportunity to grow in community and not feel so alone. I was going through this when I first started my creative entrepreneur journey with my modeling. And as I continue to grow, I realized like this experience is not just new to me. And so I did find myself struggling to continue growing in my journey because I thought I was alone. But as I kept going, right, it's like, oh, everybody thought they was alone. So everybody's having it hard. Why are we doing this to ourselves? So I really want us to curate something really cool and that really opens this up for people, because I think it's just like, it's not gatekeeping. It's just like, we don't know who to go to talk to, and it's not really accessible, especially at the front end, right? So I will say this, you can find the link in the podcast description. I'm going to, be adding some fun things for us to potentially do because, of course, I'm a creative. So everything I do has to have something a little fun attached to it. That's just me. I gotta, the dopamine. Anyway, I'm really excited about it, and I hope to see you there. It's free right now. Later on, when we start doing some major things, we'll think about adding a paid level. But for now, just come talk and have a conversation with me. Like, for real, I'm excited to see you there. So, talk with you soon. Thank you so much for staying and listening to this week's episode. Don't forget to show some love and rate this podcast. This is still my start, restart, and revamp season, and we are moving into February. Oh my gosh, January slipped by, didn't it? So just also remember and know that the encouragement you give will never go unseen or unappreciated. Also, don't forget that this is a two-parter episode. So just stick with me and check out next week's episode so we can get into that topic. Once again, is allowing myself to pivot when it's needed and instructed, because those two are different things, right? If you have any questions or comments that you want answered, or talked about on an upcoming episode, don't be shy. Comment it wherever you are listening, or even just hop over to the Let Me Be Serious podcast Instagram, which is called Let Me Be Serious, and then ask me over there. Make sure you preface it with question from a bestie, so I know what you're talking about. So I know what it's for. Because if I don't have that preface, then I won't know to not answer you where you posted it. You want me to answer it on the podcast. So make sure you preface it with question from a bestie. And this has been another episode of the Let Me Be Serious podcast, where we're all gonna have a great time. Always gonna have a great time. How I mess up my own tagline. Let's go back. This is another episode of the Let Me Be Serious podcast, where we're always gonna have a great time and still have a serious moment or two. And I'll see you next week. Bye.